Hey everybody, how are you? This is Tom McCaffrey. Um, Before I start, please like this video if you like it. That really helps me, it helps out my channel. And please subscribe to my channel. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed in the last few weeks. I've gotten a lot more subscribers. And check out my podcast, LE2B. The audio for these usually goes up on those. Okay, so today I'm doing a special thing. I watched the Will Smith apology thing, and I'm just going to play some of it because it's I don't know, kind of funny to me and just sort of I'm going to dissect it a little. So let's go. It just seems very performative and over dramatic, and it's just like he just keeps apologizing, and it's like, dude, no, just it's over. I just don't. The damage control is over. Like you made a huge. It's funny because the more time that goes on, the more time that goes by after this incident, the worse it seems to get, which is kind of odd because it's usually the opposite. Like time heals all wounds, but I just feel like this keeps getting worse and worse the more perspective we have from it. And then the apologies, especially this one, just seems so phony, and it's clearly all set up. Like he didn't sit down for an interview where he was gonna have to handle like questions that he wasn't prepared for, and they'd have to handle off the cuff. He just kind of sat down and did it all on his own terms, and he he's like super serious, and I mean, not that he shouldn't be, but and also he's kind of reading the questions like he's acting like he's never read or heard the questions ever before. And I guarantee you, like his team has wrote these questions, spent probably days crafting these questions, and have rehearsed over and over what his answers will be. This wasn't just a thing where he sat down and is, in front of a camera crew, and they were like just throwing questions out of nowhere at him. What, like, and if you hear it, just it just sounds like he's reading it for the first time, like almost like he's learning, like he's reading an eye chart.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech?
That's like, he should get an Oscar for that performance. Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I've never seen this question before. This is the first time I'm laying eyes on it. How's the lighting? Is it perfect? How's the audio? Did you get my W hat on? I didn't know he was such a George W. Bush fan.
I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to.
I was fogged out by that point. By that point, when I accepted the Oscar, were you still fogged out an hour later when you were dancing at the Vanity Fair Oscar party? Like those are the optics that really bother me, because this, it was all fuzzy, Matt. Really, the speech seemed okay. Actually, you seemed to get through it pretty well. Like you were so fuzzy that you couldn't remember hitting Chris Rock in the face for no reason. The other thing that no one's really addressed, and I was thinking about this, is when he did that, he basically in that moment just kind of destroyed his entire career, kind of in a way. And I think like I don't. I mean, I guess he'll come back. What does it even look like at this point? I mean, but it's always going to be a blemish. Like whenever I see him, it's always just going to be immediately like, oh yeah, that's a guy who like went nuts at the Oscars and just went on stage and assaulted Chris Rock. But like afterwards, obviously the famous thing that he yelled was, he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That's my Will Smith impression, and that's going to be when anyone's go-to Will Smith impression is going to be immediately that. So it seemed the thing he seemed to take great umbrage with was that Chris Rock said his wife's name, Jada. He wasn't upset about the joke. It seemed, at least that's not what he was screaming about. Like he went up and punched him in the face in the middle of the Oscars, which I mean, just is, again, that's just insane that you would do that, that you would have the gall to just be like, you're at the fucking Oscars. Like, what is going on? Like, how like I've gotten mad in my life. I couldn't imagine getting so mad at the Oscars that I'm just be like, I'm good. That's it. I'm going on stage. I'm going to start beating. I'm going to start whooping ass. Like, why did he pick like his late 50s to become tough? His whole like rap career, and he was a teenager, he was a total wuss. Now he's like wants to be a tough guy. Um, like your 50s is when you're supposed to fucking calm down. So anyway, here's more.
Chris, And the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk. And when he is, he will reach out.
The message I got back from that Chris is not ready to talk. Was that the message, or was it, hey, fuck off? Hello, is Chris there? It's like, just leave him alone, dude. He doesn't want to talk to you. Like, and he should, like, why would he want to talk to you? He doesn't have to talk to you. That's the thing that's so annoying about this. Like, he says something like, when you're ready.
So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
This is what he's come up with in 6 months. Chris, I just want to say, when I beat the shit out of you in the middle of the Oscars, that was unacceptable. I'm here for you when you want to talk. Maybe he just doesn't want to talk to you. Like, it seems like he's kind of moving on from it. You're the one who just can't seem to move on, because clearly you're the one losing on the losing end of this. Like that's the thing that annoys me. Kind of like, there's this idea that he has that it's kind of like Chris Rock is a part of this apology. Like, Chris Rock has some kind of like requirement to sit down and talk with you and straighten this all out. Like, Jada Pinkett said that too. Like, I hope these two men can sit down and work it out. He doesn't want to work it out. It's kind of like the audacity of that, after doing something that horrible to someone, humiliating them, be like, hey man, whenever you're ready to talk, I don't want to talk to you ever. You're a shithead. It's like if someone like raped someone and they were like, hey, what I did was unacceptable, and I reached out to the woman I raped, and apparently the message I got back, she's not ready to talk. So, hey, whenever you're ready to sit down and talk, I'm ready. It's like, yeah, no, they don't have to sit down and talk to you. You committed a felony against that. Whenever you're ready to talk, like if someone beat the shit out of me at the Oscars, I wouldn't be like, yeah, let's set a time to talk. I mean, maybe he's afraid you're going to punch him in the face again. I mean, look what you were like willing to do in the middle of the fucking Oscars. What are you going to do when you're alone with him?
I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment.
When I got up in the middle of the Oscars, where I was 10 minutes away from winning my first Oscar, I didn't think about the mother of the person that I was about to punch in the face because they made a joke. I like to, you're in someone knows they're in trouble when they start apologizing to the relatives of the person that they did it to. Yes, I want to apologize to all of Chris's relatives, anyone that ever met Chris's mother. I saw an interview with Chris's mother where she basically said, I'm a shithead.
So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. We had a great relationship. Tony Rock was my man, and this is probably irreparable.
You think? You think maybe the friendship with the brother of the guy you beat the shit out of at the Oscars is the relationship's irreparable? This might be that's the other thing that's coming out about this. I didn't realize like they had such like a close connection. I mean, I knew that they had known each other, but he's basically like, yeah, your brother is my best friend in the world. Yeah, so. Like, all right, so why are you beating the shit out of his family members?
I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened.
I spent the last 3 months replaying the nuances and complexities. Wasn't very nuanced. I gotta say, I gotta break it down. I hate to break it to you, Will, but this wasn't a very nuanced and complex moment. Let me break it down for you. What happened is you were at the Oscars in the front row. You were favored to win an Oscar in about 5 minutes. A guy that apparently you're best friends with, his brother, came on, made a joke about your wife that wasn't even that crazy a joke. and you stood up and punched him in the face and then sat back down, and then you won the Oscar, didn't apologize, and then you went and danced at the Vanity Fair's Oscars party. Whose fucking idea was that? He is the worst fucking publicist in the world. Like, I don't know, what should I do? I mean, that looked really bad, right? When I just punched that guy who's 3 feet smaller than me for no reason in the middle of the Oscars. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. What do you think my next move is? How about you go to the Vanity Fair? How about you go to the biggest party in the world and just dance all night holding your Oscar, and show absolutely no remorse and never apologize and look like you're having the time of your life and that you don't even remember this horrible thing that you did. Yeah, people will love that. Make absolutely no effort to make amends
in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but
he's not going to try and unpack it all right now. When are you going to? So it's just kind of like a teaser for the next video. I'm not going to try and unpack that all now. There's nothing to unpack. I've spent 4 months looking at that video of me punching you.
I can say to
I'm not going to unpack it all right now.
all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave.
What about your fist? That seemed like that part of you seemed like it was the right way to behave.
In that moment, there's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
He just had to slip that in. That's not the way to handle disrespect or insults. I love how he slips that in, like makes it clear, like he disrespected and insulted me. I just want to make it clear. I really apologize for when you disrespected me. I love when people do that. It's kind of a backhanded apology. Like, I'm really sorry for what I did, but what you did was bad.
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something?
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something?
No. It's like, I made a choice on my own.
Yeah, but you made the choice after she rolled her eyes. She didn't have to tell you to do something. I love how I'm looking at this like this is a Zapruder film. But it's just every statement is so stupid. No, I made the choice on my own. Right, after you saw her roll her eyes. That was her telling you with her eyes to go do that. No, it wasn't Jada's fault. I'm an idiot on my own.
My own experiences, from my history with Chris, Jada had nothing to do with it.
I decided to punch Chris Rock at the Oscars because of my history with Chris.
I'm sorry, babe.
I'm sorry, babe. Maddie, she still's got him. She still has his balls in a fucking.
Say sorry to my kids
under lock and key.
My family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me, and it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment.
Why are you going to? Why? I'm waiting for my apology. I was pretty, shaken by that whole moment. It really shook me up. Like, it was really hard for me to watch that clip 300 times over that night.
I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened.
First of all, as bad as this was like the greatest thing that ever happened at the Oscars. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy. I mean, it's fucking crazy. It actually is very indicative of like where our country and society is now, that would just like, even the Oscars isn't fucking immune to this kind of shit. Like, just like, could you imagine if you just told someone like, 30 years ago, like, oh yeah, one day someone's just going to go up on stage at the Oscars and punch someone in the face. Like, imagine if you told fucking, I don't know, some really old, some really old actor, Jimmy Stewart or something, like, hey, one day at the Oscars, someone's gonna get punched in the face. No, that's not gonna happen. That's my Jimmy Stewart impression.
On Questlove's award, and it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down.
Wow, you must have felt really horrible then after Wild Wild West and Bad Boys 2 and 3 and Bad Boys for Life and Enemy of the State and what was the other one? After Earth, and every movie I Robot, and I Am Legend, and every movie you've made since 2008. It's funny, it's starting to remind me. I was thinking about his career, because it was he really had this charmed career, but I was looking at his filmography, and he had a few good movies, and then I feel like he hasn't made anything good in the last like 15 years. This is like this Oscars thing was the biggest hit he's had in years. Oh, you're welcome.
So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me.
I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. I know the bar was set high after Bad Boys 4, that, I really have to, I was expected to live my life on a higher level and higher plane. It makes me feel bad that I disappointed all the fans of After Earth and 7 Pounds and the other shit movie.
And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human, and I made a mistake, and I'm trying.
I love this is so funny in these apologies they have to make to the public. I guess that's part of the deal. If you want to be in the public eye and you have an image and your whole livelihood is tied to the public's perception of you, it's just amazing me when you haven't seen this in years, where like a celebrity comes out and just panders to the public. So I mean, that's why I'm doing this, because it's like you basically made this, obviously you're putting yourself out there, and I mean, whatever. I'm not like I don't even like, I'm not really like mad at Will Smith. I don't really give a shit. I think it's just insane that he did that. And obviously he's like crazy. It's funny when you see these like huge celebrities, and it's gotten more and more sense. We have more access to celebrities. I feel like the first big one was Tom Cruise. He was the first one that he had this image, his public image for so long that he was able to control the narrative. And then like, we kind of got more access, and then he had that year where he just kind of lost his mind, and when you kind of saw like a little bit of who he was, it was kind of jarring, because you're like, oh my god, this guy's crazy. And I mean, this thing with him is like, yeah, he's just crazy. I mean, there must be they have some Scientology connection. I don't know if he's in Scientology. I mean, he fucking should be. I'm sure they're, after this, they're probably trying to recruit him.
Not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
This apology looks like it was written by Xenu.
So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking.
It was confusing. I wasn't confused. I was just like, what an idiot. This is confusing. I wasn't that confused. I was just more like, wow, I can't believe I guess I was confused. That might not be the best. It wasn't confusing. It was pretty clear. It was shocking.
But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And, if you hang on, I promise we'll be able to be friends again.
If I hang on, I didn't know we were friends. We're friends again. Oh, okay, cool. So since we're friends, can you help me move next week? Are we that kind of friends? No. Are we the kind of friends that you won't return my messages? I'm gonna hang on, Will. Thanks for that. All right, well, that was fucking stupid. So like I said, I just thought that was he put that out, so I was like, I might as well give my 2 cents, just like everyone else. And I mean, like I said, I don't really care. I'm not really mad at it. I mean, Will Smith, I never was like a huge Will Smith fan, but I liked him how everyone liked it. He's like fucking like, he was like chocolate. That might not be the best of that. He was like fucking just something. He was like popcorn. It was like, oh yeah, of course I like popcorn. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'll eat that every now and then. Yeah. And then it is kind of shocking to see, popcorn beat the shit out of someone at the Oscars. That would be rough. Like, did you guys see what popcorn did? God, that is it. I was very confused. I've always liked popcorn, but not anymore. I'm not gonna eat popcorn anymore. Now I'm just gonna eat Juji fruits. But then like 6 months go by. And I think I'll have popcorn. Whatever. he put out an apology, Popcorn. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I like this video, and we'll see you next time. And please subscribe. And that's it. Thanks.